This is a quick video about whether Cairo means Chi-Roh or Rosy Cross. Cairo is, of course, the current capital of Egypt, and the Chi-Roh is a famous symbol which means Rosy Cross. It was adopted by the Byzantine Empire in the 4th century AD to mean which represents the first two letters of Christos. The X being the K, and the P, which is actually the R, is the Kr. So that's it. And does Cairo just mean Chi-Roh? Is that what it actually means? Which would be very interesting. It's just posing a question. Here is Egypt itself. There's the famous necropolis in the middle, with the pyramids, and there's broader Egypt. Going to the map. There's Egypt, of course. Giza's there, Cairo's there, Alexandria, which was the capital in Byzantium times, is all close to each other and all highly related. We know all the history of Egypt. Of course, we know that there's Isis, Osiris, Horus, the mother, the father, and the son, which seems to be a prototype for Christian ideals, and that's part of Egyptian. The Egyptian religions, and we seem to have that manifest in the Giza pyramids, which are seen to be aligned to Orion and that sort of thing. So we got that going on, but just interested to see if Cairo just literally means Chi-Roh, which is, it seems almost obvious, but it almost seems like it's too obvious that I'm assuming I'm being not completely naive, but I just want your feedback, and it's just a proposition. The etymology comes from something I can't pronounce, from the early Islamic period, which is our Kahira, I think, the vanquisher or the conqueror, and they think it relates to Mars, but the conquering star. But I have a feeling that it's not quite that. I think that's incorrect. The Coptic language refers to Chiron. There's references that Cairo was called Babylon because there was a fortress there. The Rosy Cross became more popular in Shakespearean lore, where people nowadays look at Shakespearean sonnets and believe that the authors were hiding the Chi-Roh within the actual code, within the sonnets. And we have an article here, Secrets of the Rosy Cross. It goes into a lot of detail, but it does show how the formation of the Rosy Cross and how it's created, the Christogram it's called. Sometimes it has that P symbol, which is the Greek R, and the X, but sometimes it can be just like an asterisk, like an I with the X, which is the initials Jesus Christos, where there's no J in the original language, so they just use the I instead of the J, and so it's Jesus and then Christos, and that creates the other form. They also think that the Ankh is basically the Tower Cross, and the Ankh is a talisman, and that's a prototype to the Christian cross as well. And so it all ties together, which is very interesting how you can somehow get the Ankh as you know, which has its own meaning and goes back a long way. So going back to the Islamic naming of Cairo being the conquering star, just remember that Mars, in mythology, Mars was disarmed by Venus. So Venus tends to be the victorious star, the star that is the main thing. And in most of mythology and secret society mythology, you'll find 5 points, 5 leaves, a rosy cross with 5 leaves on it. You'll find that in Da Vinci related works and everything you come across, you get 5 leaves, 5 points, all that sort of stuff, which relates, of course, to Venus and the morning star. And Jesus is sometimes, or this whole mythology has been not. If Venus is a conquering star, then that also points to the fact that it's most likely referring to Jesus, which most likely refers to the Rosy Cross, which is Chi-Roh, and therefore Cairo is Chi-Roh. And the Islamic people just simply took the name and just rebranded it and just carried it on from Byzantium tradition. And of course, we don't have much records back from the Byzantium times that's adequate enough to verify or dispute either way. So that's the unfortunate thing about trying to do revisionist history, is that you don't have enough. Just one more thing about Chi. It seems to be like Chi, and Chi is, of course, in the Eastern religion is obviously breath of life or life force. So just an interesting cross comparison. I'm interested in your comments. Whether Chi-Roh, it just means Chi-Roh, and Chi-Roh being the Rosy Cross and being related to Jesus Christ, and or the lineage or the royal lineage or whatever you think it means. So does Chi-Roh mean Chi-Roh? And I'd like to hear your feedback. If I'm wrong, I'm totally fine with that. It's really just a question. Another point about pyramids. Why I think sometimes the pyramid question. If you look at the etymology of pyramid in online dictionaries, you'll find it's related to some. They don't know where it comes from, and it's like a Greek cake or some stupid thing. Pyramid can't mean anything else other than pyre and mid. So mid or middle or within and pyre, meaning like a funeral pyre, and of course, or resurrection chamber, which of course we get in the Great Pyramid. So sometimes the etymology that you get online is so ridiculous, and I'll go for that in later videos, how stupid some of the etymology really is, and why I think it needs to be radically revised. So it is surprising how we get misled on basic things such as the origin of the word pyramid. It can't mean anything else but pyre and mid. That's it. So food for thought. Thanks very much. Thanks.